In today's video, I'll share how to slash every bill you have. Let's do this! If you want to skip right into the money-saving tips, go to Chapter 3. For those that want to get some context as to why now is a great time to try to cut costs and save some extra money, here's the scoop. On Friday, June 10th, the Consumer Price Index was released. This wide-ranging measure showed that inflation has hit a 40-year high in the US at 8.6%. This was followed by the Federal Reserve on June 15, 2022, lifting interest rates by 0.75%. The third hike this year and the largest since 1994. The Bank of Canada had lifted their overnight rates half a percentage point to 1.5% at the beginning of June. And just yesterday, CPI was released. And Canadians continued to feel the impact of rising prices in May, as consumer inflation rose 7.7% year over year. This was the largest yearly increase since January 1983, and up from a 6.8% gain in April. What does this mean for us? Everything is costing more, squeezing our income and bank accounts for everything they're worth. Gas, cars, appliances, groceries, services, housing costs are all up. So to help ease the pinch, here are 20 ideas to slash every bill we have. In this video, we are tackling housing, transportation, groceries, lifestyle, and bills. Let's start with housing. Tip number 1, move to a cheaper area of your city if you can. Of course, this is a lot easier if you're renting, and usually it makes the most sense. Just how much of a difference can it make? Well, in my beautiful city of Vancouver, living in the outskirts can save you $900 or more a month. That's $10,800 left more in your pocket. Not so bad, eh? Tip number 2, reanalyze your mortgage. In the case of rising rates, it may be an idea to lock into a fixed rate mortgage for 5 or more years. A quick check with your mortgage broker, and you will know if it's worth making the change and how much it will cost you to save. This tip didn't age well over the past 6 months, but it still can save you a lot of cash flow in case you are in a pinch. Tip number 3, home maintenance. It's amazing how fast home repairs can add up when we neglect maintenance for a little while. Something as simple as recaulking your bathroom every 5 to 10 years can save you a costly repair from mold or mildew. Or how about using a plastic snake every year to clean the shower, sink, or kitchen drain so you don't have a major clog and costly plumber bill to pay. Tip number 4, find a deal on home insurance. With a little bit of shopping around and making sure you have the right kind of coverage can make a big difference. I was able to lower our costs by about 20% with a few phone calls and an online request. Now for transportation, which is a cost that has skyrocketed in 2022. Tip number 5, buy a used car. Cars are generally a depreciating asset. And the first 4 or 5 years, vehicles depreciate the most and account for the largest portion of the cost of ownership. According to industry experts, the value of a new car drops by 20% in the first year of ownership. Over the next 4 years, you can expect your car to lose roughly 15% of its value each year, meaning the average car will be worth just 40% of its purchase price after 5 years. So a $50,000 car is now worth $20,000, costing you $500 a month in depreciation. Keep in mind these numbers are broad estimates. You can check out Carfax for a specific vehicle you have in mind for a more accurate number. Tip number 6, use public transport if available. The average car costs a Canadian $9,000 to $13,000 a year. It is usually the third biggest monthly cost in a Canadian's budget, and this has only risen since the beginning of the year. Just how much can it save you? The TTC in Toronto will cost you $156 a month. A 3-zone pass in Vancouver, $181 a month. A fraction of the $800 to $1,100 per month for owning a car. Of course, not owning a car isn't for everyone. Tip number 7, trip planning. With fuel prices hitting record highs around the country, aimless driving is a cost we can get rid of. Consolidating errands to one day, planning which are in the same area, and avoiding rush hour can make all the difference in the amount of fuel used. Tip number 8, free parking. Here in Vancouver, the cost of parking is ridiculous. Let me know what it's like in your city. I try to find free parking in the city whenever I can and get in a little walk. Essentially, I'm getting paid to exercise. I like to use this free app, Parkopedia.com, which helps a lot. Now let's look at groceries. Tip number 9, Go to the grocery store only once a week. It has been proven the more we shop, the more we spend and eat. So limiting yourself to once a week will lower your food bill. My wife and I have noticed a huge difference, a $200 a month difference when we shop only once a week versus whenever we wanted. Tip number 10, shop in bulk. This doesn't work for all items and for all family sizes. Who needs this much mayonnaise anyways? But when it comes to staples that are consumed regularly, buying in bulk can sometimes cut costs by 50% or more. And for certain items, you can stretch them out more than you think. For example, I recently learned that with HE laundry detergent, you only need a tablespoon for a load of laundry. Now that just blew my mind because normally I was filling up the cap using 4 or 5 times more than I needed. When buying in bulk, always check the expiry date if it's a food item. You want to make sure you can consume it in time. Tip number 11, meal prep and planning. Waste is a huge portion of our food bill. For the average Canadian household, it amounts to 140 kilograms of wasted food per year at a cost of more than $1,300. Meal prep doesn't mean you have to have your food in little mason jars. By planning and at least knowing what you need for the week will help you cut food waste to near zero. Tip number 12, go meatless whenever you can. Meat is an expensive food item, and we eat a lot of it. Going meatless a meal a week can save you big time. Not to mention it's apparently good for the environment too. Now let's look at lifestyle. And I'm not going to say the obvious, cook at home and don't buy your Starbucks every day. Tip number 13, repair damaged shoes, clothing, and other items. Many times, a damaged leather shoe can be repaired for a fraction of the cost of a new one. And with a good quality purse, the cost is even more drastic. I've ripped my fair share of pants at the crotch. I used to just go out and buy new ones. Now with this tip, I go to the seamstress and have those crotches reinforced so that they are stronger than ever before. And when you do need to buy new items, tip number 14, shop end of season sales. Many stores clear out inventory at the end of a season and will mark down items 70%. By planning ahead, you can snatch high quality items for the fraction of a cost of a lower quality, fully priced item. Whoever said saving money means looking cheap? And to add to those juicy savings, I like to use money saving apps. Rakuten is the one my wife and I have been using for the past few years and have saved big because of literally clicking a link. Tip number 15, look for free entertainment in the city. So many weekends, my wife and I would struggle to decide on what to do and how much we're willing to spend for a certain event. Then we started to research free entertainment in Vancouver and found so many cool things to do that are free or near free. I like to look up city-sponsored events and fairs in the summer and winter and use websites like destinationvancouver.com for ideas of free things to do in the city. Tip number 16, stay on top of your health. Simple things like daily exercise, eating healthy, having a good night's rest, and even brushing your teeth and flossing daily can save you big in medical and dental costs. Trips to the dentist don't come cheap. Now let's look at those nasty bills. Tip number 17, renegotiate your internet bill. When you see those advertised deals for internet or internet bundles from the big providers, they are far from deals. With a simple phone call to your provider, you can have your internet bill slashed drastically. You might not know, but if you just ask for the retention desk, you can get a great deal. We're with TELUS, and the current offer is $75 a month, down from the original $105 a month for a 2-year contract for unlimited $75. We were able to get a cool $40 a month for 2 years just from a simple phone call. Tip number 18, open a free bank account. Many of the big banks charge $30 or more for their best checking accounts. In order to waive that fee, many require $4,000 or more to sit in the account at all times. With online banks such as Simply, Tangerine, EQ Bank, you can have a free checking account and still get that tasty sign-up bonus. Tip number 19, downgrade your phone plan. Phone plans are expensive in Canada. With more and more pressure on the big three, phone plans have recently started to drop in price. And now many of the low-cost carriers have everything one could want for a fraction of the cost. I switched from Bell to Freedom Mobile and reduced my phone bill by almost 50% just by giving up a few gigabytes of data a month. I think it was worth it. Tip number 20, consolidate monthly entertainment subscriptions. There are so many subscriptions we can sign up to now. Long gone are the days of just a simple cable bill. So to cut the bill, why not pick one subscription to use for a month or two, or until you finish watching The Office? If there's another show you like on Disney or Netflix, switch to it and watch the show. When you're done with the hockey season, cancel TSN and move on to the next subscription you will use. It is easy to save $40 a month by eliminating subscriptions that you are currently not using or seldomly using. So there we have it, 20 ways to chop up your bills so we can work less and live more.